Good morning, welcome back to the dye garage. Today I am doing test runs for the clubs. Oh, which reminds me, I've not shut the club listing. I must do that in a minute. Today I am doing test runs for the clubs. What I like to do, so I have an idea in my head every month of what I'm going to do. Not always for the Once Upon a Yarn Club. Sometimes it takes a few reads through of the story and then the idea will come to me. But certainly for the monthly minis club, I've obviously got an idea now for the next 3 months of the kind of colour progression that's going to happen. And I've got ideas going beyond that, but they're not kind of completely confirmed. So I have ideas in my head, but I don't test dye it up before the month, if that makes sense. But what I like to do is I usually try and do it before the club closes, but this month, having had time off, I haven't. But what I try and do is I'll do a test run. So today I'm doing a test run of both clubs. So I'll dye up a batch of each of the minis and I'll dye up a batch of the main colourway for the Once Upon a Yarn Club. It's really cold out here and my hands are freezing because they've just been in the water. So that's my plan. Normally, I'd say 90% of the time I can get the idea in my head onto the yarn and it works. Occasionally, like February's club this year for the Once Upon a Yarn Club, things do not go to plan and things go completely wrong and I really struggle to come up with the colourway. But anyway, that's the rare side of things. So I have a plan of what I'm doing with the club. I have a plan of where the colours are going to go and kind of what I want to do with the yarns. Sometimes things don't necessarily come out exactly how they were in my head, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing. Sometimes things work slightly differently, but then I still like the final result and it still works within the theme of the colours that I'm going for. So yeah, it's a very creative process for me anyway. And then all dyers are different. Everybody works in a completely different way. So for me, everything is quite a creative process. So I don't necessarily plan things out thoroughly. I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm going to do exactly and how I'm going to apply the yarn and the colour and all that kind of thing until I actually get to the dye pans, and then it's a case of just letting the creativity flow. Which I don't know, I'm not a very I don't even know how to say this. I don't consider myself a very creative person, but somehow when it comes to the yarn, I can't plan it all out. Usually I'm very much in my head planning everything out, organising everything, structuring everything. But when it comes to dyeing yarn, I kind of just need to go with it. Otherwise, it all goes wrong because I overthink it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the plan today. Unfortunately, I can't share the colours with you because I'm dyeing clubs, but I'll share a few black and white shots so you get to see a little bit of what I'm up to today. But I can't share colours. We are, though, going to see another house this afternoon, which will be quite interesting. It popped up the other day when I was just looking through to see what was coming up in our area, and it's an excellent location. It's very close. It's easily walkable for school and things, but it needs a bit of work. So it's clearly been lived in by somebody elderly or somebody with some kind of physical disability. The bathroom has been adapted so that it's got a kind of accessible walk-in shower, but not like the fancy walk-in showers, you know, like the very ones that are very much designed for accessibility with the kind of opening gate bit around them. So there isn't a bath at the moment, so that's kind of a factor. We need to look into how much it would cost to get that replaced and a bath put in. But it does have 4 bedrooms. It's got 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bedroom downstairs, which could work really well as an office, and the kids could still have their own bedrooms. It has a garage, so it's got the potential to convert a space for me to work dye studio wise, and it's quite good space wise. It's very well priced, and I think that's going to be a big factor. So for us, we would need it to go for not a lot over the price that it is currently on for, in order to be able to do the work that we would need to do to make it comfortable for us. I mean, the kitchen needs redoing, it's dated, but it would be livable for a while. The bathroom would need doing quite quickly. And there's a few other bits, like the garden is all set for ease of use. So it's very much kind of paved and stones down and that kind of thing. So again, eventually that's something that we would need to do. So yeah, it will be an interesting one to go and have a look at. We're going to have a look at it this evening. Yeah, we'll let you know how it goes. We'll let you know what we think. But yeah, it's going to be a curious one. We'll see. Everyone doing? I am nearly there with my dyeing, I think. I've just put the test skein for the Grimm's Club, for the Once Upon a Yarn Club, in to give that a go. So I have an idea for that and I'm quite excited about the idea. I'm really hoping it works. It's something a little bit different that I haven't done in a very long time. But if it works, then it should be really awesome. The Minis Club is coming along really well, I think. I can never decide if I'm happy with what I've done until I've kind of got them hung up and dried and I've been able to skein one sort of set up to kind of get an idea for the colours. Which is why I like to do the test run, because I can do the test run and then if I come back to it and go, oh no, I don't like that colour, that one's not going to work, then I can dye more. Rather than putting multiple batches in at once and it all going completely wrong. So I think I'm happy with it. I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to work coming from last month and going into next month. It should, yeah, I think so. Fingers crossed. I've been catching up with podcasts today. I haven't watched many YouTube podcasts for a while because I got a little bit obsessed with Critical Role, which is... I've mentioned it a few times. I don't know if I've explained it. Critical Role is basically a group of voice actors who play Dungeons and Dragons, and they live stream it on Twitch. It's not something I've ever watched, but they live stream it on Twitch, but then they're all up on YouTube. And I'm watching the second campaign at the moment. I think I'm about 25 episodes in. But up to date, they're at about 131 episodes. So I am well behind. I think I'm in 2018. But it is brilliant. Matt Mercer, who leads it, who DMs it, is absolutely brilliant. And it's just funny and the characters are brilliant. It's really, really good fun. So anyway, I got obsessed with that and I've been watching a lot of that recently. But today I thought I would catch up with some podcasts because I'm getting really behind, really behind on podcasts. So I thought I'd share some of the ones I watch. I don't watch as many as I used to. I tend to stick nowadays to kind of people that I interact with more, people that I would call friends, because I just don't have the time to watch everyone's podcast. But the ones I watch really, really regularly are Sharon of the SCR1 TNO podcast. I always watch hers when it comes out, although I'm a couple of weeks behind at the moment. Also Sophie of A Spring Snowflake, when she does podcasts, I always watch hers. I always watch Ellie, Craft House Magic, as well. She's one of my favourites that, again, I watch very, very regularly. And I'm just slipping through my list because my brain's gone now. Cherie of Ollie and Bella, she doesn't podcast regularly, maybe once a month or so, but whenever hers come up, I always watch hers. And who else is in my subscriptions list? Where's my subscriptions list on YouTube? Let's get that up and it'll remind me, won't it? And Emma Eldenwood Craft, again, she doesn't podcast on a regular basis, but usually kind of monthly or every couple of months, which is great actually because I don't have to keep up as much. But again, I always watch hers when hers come up, and I'm sure there's others that I watch very regularly. There's a lot of other channels that I'm subscribed to, and if I'm up to date with podcasts, then I tend to watch them, but not always. I also have a non-knitting YouTube podcast that I watch regularly as well, which is Leanne, who's Literary Diversions. And she does like a book review kind of podcast. She does loads of different book videos about books and stuff like that. And her taste in books seems quite similar to my taste in books. So I really enjoy hers. And she's based in Edinburgh and she's hilarious. So they are very fun to watch. And yeah, I really enjoy those. Who do you watch regularly? I'm curious. I'd love to find some new people as well. I've got a few people scheduled up to try and kind of catch up with and watch some new podcasts. My alarm went off, so that's going to be an awkward cut, isn't it? That means I need to go and sort my yarn out. I've got some new people that I've come across recently that I keep meaning to watch as well, but I haven't got round to it. I'm trying to remember who they were. So, oh, I haven't got them here. I'll talk about them when I've watched them. Let's go for that. But yeah, who do you watch regularly, apart from me, obviously? Right, I need to go sort this yarn out before everything goes completely wrong. Right, it's the moment of truth with the Once Upon a Yarn Club trial. Has this worked? It looks good. The question is, I'll try and balance that there. The question is whether it's actually set because of the way I've applied the dyes. So let's test. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I'm not getting a handful of dye on my fingers, although it is hot. Right, fingers crossed. I can't show you. Sorry. I am just about to pack some more orders and I feel like I need to go back on what I said the other day about hating packing orders and explain it a little bit more because I don't want you all to think that I hate packing your orders, because I think that's far too strong for what I mean, and it wasn't quite the way I meant it. I think my issue at the moment with packing orders and why I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to is purely the fact that because of COVID and pandemic and all of that chaos, Tom is now working from home pretty much full time. For those of you that don't know, Tom works for the university. He's a law lecturer. So he's pretty much working from home full time. He's doing his teaching from home virtually and everything like that, which means that he's using the office all the time. And all my packing materials and all my yarn and all of my everything basically lives in the office. So it means that whereas before I used to be able to kind of take time out during the day when I was dyeing yarn and get orders packaged nice and peacefully in the office during the day, no worries. Nowadays, Tom works 9 till 5. So the only time of day that I can actually get into the office and pack orders is once he's finished work. Like today, it is just gone 5 o'clock. He's finished work, but I am now coming up to the office to get orders packed. And I think the issue I'm struggling with is the fact that it feels like my workday should have ended because it's 5 o'clock, but actually I've probably got another 2 hours now of getting bits and pieces done in the office, which if I'd been able to do it during the day normally, it wouldn't be eating into the evening, and like Tom will do the boys' tea time, and often if I've got lots of orders and stuff to pack, he'll sort of do bedtime mostly. So I think that's it. So basically we can blame COVID. We can blame COVID for everything, can't we? For why I'm struggling with packing orders at the moment. But I mean, as soon as Tom goes back to work physically, if and when that happens, then it'll get easier again because I'll have more time during the day to be able to package orders and stuff like that when the kids are at school. But I think that's more the explanation rather than just the fact that I hate packing orders, because that's not true. I do enjoy doing it. I think I just resent the fact that at the moment I'm having to do it outside of normal work hours, if that makes sense. Anyway, I've got orders to pack. Random pause mid packing order, because isn't this a gorgeous colour combination? I so wouldn't have thought of putting these colours together, although amusingly they're both the two colourways that I was talking about for my love note. So this is Neptune and this is Eeyore. But don't they look gorgeous together? I could totally see them in a project together. Ooh, that's a thought, isn't it? I love it when I come across a customer order and the colours that they've picked go so nicely together. I have been lent a potentially exciting bit of kit from Leona at Rusty Ferret. She's another Dundee-based dyer. And this is an electric ball winder. So it's got a switch on the back. And it does it automatically. I was having a look to see if I could find any, because as I've mentioned before, with my self-striping, I have to cake all of the skeins of yarn before I warp them. And obviously that's very time consuming, and anything that will help speed up that process would be amazing. So I'm going to give this a try. Okay, so that didn't work great the first time. I definitely need to have a play and see if I can work this out. If I can get this working, and if I can work it out how to get it perfect, then it will be brilliant. But if it's going to do this every time, then maybe not.